In the stock market, volume is expressed in shares. A share of stock represents partial ownership of a company, hence the term share. Now, a share is a basic unit that describes the quantity of stock or other security. Volume is the number of shares exchanged in a single transaction. For example, if a buyer purchases 200 shares of stock from a seller, the total volume of this transaction is 200 shares. Now, countless transactions just like this take place during the trading day. The volume indicator keeps track of all of these transactions and totals the number of shares over any given time period. Think about volume as it relates to supply and demand. Consider buying apples where, after the harvest, there's a limited supply. Now, enough purchasing demand for this limited supply can cause the price of apples to rise over time. Well, the same is true for stocks. If more stock buyers enter the market, they may raise their bids or pay the offer price and push the stock price higher. Now, this can work in either direction and is often referred to as order flow. Now, volume reflects the overall interest in a stock and measures the cumulative total of shares bought or sold. Now, let's take a closer look at how to view volume.
The volume indicator is usually displayed at the bottom of a stock chart as a histogram. Each bar of the histogram shows the total volume traded for a given time period. For instance, if you're looking at a daily chart, each bar of the volume histogram represents the total volume traded per day. If you're looking at a very short-term chart, like a 1-minute chart, each bar of the volume histogram represents the total volume traded per minute. Volume is often averaged over time, particularly during the daily time period. This is called average daily volume. Some investors compare today's volume to average daily volume over a number of days in the past. Investors typically use 20 or 30 days to calculate average daily volume, although any historical range can be used.
So to recap, the volume indicator is often displayed at the bottom of the stock chart as a bar or histogram. Now, each bar shows the volume for a given time period. And volume is often averaged over time, allowing investors to compare current volume to the past volume.